Siddur, everybody here saw Siddur in his life? Used it? Okay, Siddur. What is Siddur? What is Siddur?
Order with prayer.
Prayer book. It's prayer book. Who wrote it? It's made up of different segments. Some written by Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses. Some written by Yoshua, his disciple, the one who entered the land of Israel and conquered it. I don't know Shabbat, we say in Rosh Hashanah, nowadays at the end of every tefillah, I don't know Shabbat, if you're familiar with it. Many parts written by, who wrote the Psalms, Tehillim? King David, the great King David. So we have prophets, we have leaders, we have generals, we have kings, and other sages thereafter in the Mishnah and the Talmud. It is built so beautifully that we have all fundamentals of faith in the Siddur. Okay, there are many beautiful books about fundamentals of faith, or not fundamental, minor things of Emunah. From philosophical, again, for the Maimonides, to a different type of philosophy of Rabbi Yehuda Levi, Kuzari. Anyone heard about the name Kuzari? Kuzari, so some of you heard about this. They're to more modern one in our language. There are many books about faith. Some are being used in various courses, and many of them are good. This, I believe, is the best book to learn Emunah from. Why is that? First of all, you'll get familiar with Siddur. Siddur is one of the most important books you're going to have in your bookshelves in the house. This is the key to every community you go in the world. Right? If you go now in Sweden, if you go to Israel, if you go to New York, if you go to any country, any synagogue in the world uses this Siddur. And not specifically this Siddur maybe, but for 90% it's the same. Okay? So my mother grew up in Shulchan, my father is from Sephardic Algerian origin, my wife is from parents from Yemen, and you know what, you take all the Siddurim, the Sephardic, the Ashkenaz, Yemen, you look almost the same. Slight differences here and there, especially when it comes to the poems, more later on liturgy. But since they're all based on three nusachim, three main formats of Siddurim, we'll get to the question you said before, your comment, very good one, about the Rambam. They're pretty much not identical, but very similar. So this is a key to every community, Jewish community in the world. You should know how to use it. Okay. Second, it's not only the prayers. If you look at the table of contents in the beginning, you'll see there is, of course, all the prayers and stuff, but there are also what we call the cycle of life. From when a baby is born, for a wedding, to a baby is born, to bris milah, simchat habat, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, how to put mezuzah on the door. Like the lots of this cycle of life thing. You build a house, what do you do? Right, how to put a fence, and so on and so forth. It also parts about mourning, not mourning when the sun rises, but mourning when someone is grieving, or mourning avelut, when someone passes, dies. All these things you can find this Siddur. So it's a magnificent book. Of course, also regular services, douche and blessings. There's also a statement of blessing here. So this is a really favorable book that you should know how to use, like in and out from cover to cover. Second, it has all the fundamentals of faith in it. One last comment about the Siddur. We spoke about who wrote it, we spoke what it contains, we spoke about the importance of it. Last thing we need to talk about the Siddur is who wrote it. We spoke about who wrote it. What is it? In the Hebrew, I love Hebrew. Siddur. And here we already mentioned the root of Siddur is from the word Seder. Thank you very much. Which is order. Order of what? So when he said about Siddur, it's about the prayers, how to pray. What happens is that when we learn about Tefillah, we learn more in length, just a little bit now. Normal times, let's say in the times that King King Solomon is ruling over Israel. He's got his palace, the Beit Mikdash is built, the temple in Jerusalem, everything is good. A person wants to feel close to Hashem. What does he do? Go to the Beit Mikdash, experience the services. We know that the Shekhinah, the willing presence of Hashem, is there. He just feel close. Or he wants more, I would say, feel in touch with Hashem in a more intellectual way to ask a question. So he goes to the prophet and he can ask him something, and the prophet asks Hashem, Hashem answers, doesn't answer, and everything is good. And let's say after he experienced a wonderful stay in the Beit Mikdash, in the temple, and now he wants to daven. Daven is the Yiddish word for pray. So he wants to daven now, so he goes to the Knesset, to the synagogue, underneath the mountain there, and he prays. How he prays? From his heart. He's saying, Allah, Baruch Atah Adonai lamdeni chukecha. Right? Blessed are you, Hashem. Teach me your ways. He prays because the language is Hebrew. That's a spoken language. Everybody knows what to say. It doesn't happen so frequently. But let's say when we have a Shabbat in my house without guests. And last week we had such Shabbat because two of my babies were sick. So we didn't invite any guests, and we canceled a few others who were invited. The children feel it, so they behave wild, they throw things, they break this, that. Come, let's do this together. Yeah. I'm going to a tablet, Shabbat. I'm going to my room, see. Right? When there are guests, the children feel it. Oh, they know. Now I can't take the bottle of Coke and pour it on my sister's hair, right? For some reason they feel the presence. So when you feel the presence of Hashem, you just went to the Beit Mikdash, you felt the divine presence amongst you, and you go to pray, to daven, you just know what to say. Right? When you go to a museum, right, there are signs not allowed to use a cell phone, don't shout, you don't even need to say it. You feel, there's the feeling of, this is a respectful place, right? You go to court a lot, right? You go to court. When you go to court, you need to tell people you're not allowed to shout out loud in the court. You understand? You see the lawyers are decently dressed up, a judge with his gown, whatever he wears, and the place is built in a way you feel, so you know what to say. Even the language you will speak is not as foul language as you speak at the streets or at home, maybe. But time passes, the temple, Beit Mikdash, you know this word, Beit Mikdash, the temple in Jerusalem is called Beit Mikdash, is destroyed. People are being scattered all over the world. Not yet, but generally speaking, eventually they'll get even into Sweden. So it's suitable for, I don't know, reindeer to live in. For some reason, some people decided to live in, and for unfortunate reason, King Gustav III allowed the Jews coming in the floor, right? Yes. He's the one that was in. And since they were stuck here, and we eat knacken bread with butter. So, we don't speak the language so well. We need Duolingo to learn our language. That's our language. But we need to find ways to find a word here, a word there, to struggle, to break our teeth, to try to say the head and the eye, and even like sound we're not used to using. And people don't know how to speak so well. Also, as the farther you go from the holy place, sometimes also you become a little lesser. So speaking Hebrew is, if not forgotten, is not so good. They don't know what to pray for. They don't know the structure of prayer, how to say it nicely. So they need an order, how to pray, how should I say it, how do I word it out? Right? Also, there are many more reasons. We'll see that also who will pray for those who cannot pray. right? I'm sorry. You see pictures nowadays of people in Syria, right? And all crazy, all Middle East and Africa, what's going on in these places. Who's going to pray for them? They don't have time to pray. Believe me, they need to survive. Who's going to go and ask the Creator of the world, you create such a perfect world, please spare these people, spare your world from the disaster happening there. Who's going to say that? Because if we want to be ordered, although we live in a fantastic quality of life here in Sweden, in Stockholm, Gothenburg, something, whatever, in Sweden, large, we don't look outside so often. Because although quality of life is fantastic, we need also to task for tomorrow. We have our issues at home, at work, at this and that. Our mind, a normal person mind, is about his small life. Sometimes we need to get a little bit outside of ourselves and to see more than that. How can we do that? We have a reminder. And this not only encourage us, it make us, and every male have 3 times to daven a day, every female once a day, to take the book and say the perfect prayers in here. Really, if it doesn't happen to me, unfortunately, it's very rare that I actually can focus on more than 5% of what I read. But if on the 5%, when I get a passage or something I'll click and you actually understand what you read, you're more at ease. And you see, wow, King David was I don't know, it's like sorcery. He catches you with this phenomenal praise song that he wrote here, the book of the Shiurim. Seriously, if you can get 1% of into your heart what you say here, believe me, all of your day will be completely different. You'll be full of awe throughout the day. It's amazing. It's amazing. So we can't do it all the time. It's hard to be at high fire all the time. This takes us out of our day-to-day life and try to pull us up for a while. For the 3 times every man, 1 time every woman, when we daven, we try to achieve a higher level and to see outside of our small world. Just another reason why we need structure, why we need Siddur, or order, or structure in our tefillah. Why not just from the heart? Okay. So then we get to around, I think it's, there are 3, almost 900 to the English counting. Okay, so the 1st century, let's say, 800, year 850, 68, 67. Abraham Gaon, one of the era of the Giyur, it's called, and the people I think of Baghdad or somewhere maybe they asked him, Chris, listen, we got to a very unfortunate and tragic time in our generation. We don't know how to pray anymore. We forgot completely everything. There is a general structure of tefillah already like thousands of years ago, 2,000 years ago. Moshe himself had something, Ezra described, Ezra Sofer, at the end of the Tanakh. There's Ezra also, the book of Ezra. He gave us some rules, and the sages afterward in the Sanhedrin, Great Assembly, made 18 or 19 blessings for the Amidah. We have a general structure we have to follow. But it's just general, and they're sending a letter with a messenger to Abraham God. Teach us how to pray. Send us a format. We forgot how to pray. Because of all the reasons we mentioned before, previously. And he writes the first order, the first structure of the tefillah, the Siddur. Obviously, okay, you start with this and this. And when you learn about tefillah, we'll see that it's a very interesting structure, like a pyramid. We start with korbanot, sacrifices, what happened in the Beit HaMikdash. And then we go to the Sukkot Zimra, verses of praise, to be sort of meditation, in order to get the emotional part of tefillah. Then Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, the Jewish declaration of faith. Then we get to the top, to the peak, standing in front of Hashem, and we say what we want to say, the Amidah. Then we go down to get to Aleph Shabbat and the Song of the Day. So he writes the first order. After him, there's another one, Haigo, and then another go on the same era. A few years later, he writes another order. And then what you said, that this is only 850 years ago, Rambam also writes a Siddur of the Tefillah, how you should pray, daven. So these are the main three nusachim. These are the sources, also Machzoriti, but 3 or 4 sources for the Tefillah, which are pretty much very similar. That's why, like I said before, all the Siddurim from all the different congregations in the world are pretty much the same. So know this, you can go to any synagogue. Maybe the music will be different. It's surely be different by the melodies, but otherwise the content is the same. Normally speaking, we should not have any books of halakha. Why? Because in normal circumstance, you live in a Jewish house that is located in a Jewish village, and in this village you have not only your family, you have your aunt lives right to you, your uncle is there, your Rob is another neighbor, your grandparents are here, great grandparents also live with you, and you know what to do because you see whenever your dad takes his cup of coffee with newspaper and Shabbat morning, before he said, Baruch atah shakol yamidoro, and he drinks. So you also do that before you even understand what you're doing. You say such and such word before you drink, right? You saw your grandmother taking the chicken that you wanted to cook for Shabbat on Wednesday. She went to the rabbi or to the shochet. Shochet is a person who kills the animals, the kosher animals in a kosher way. It's called shchita. And you take it to the shochet or to the rabbi. He will kill it, and then you see you cooking it. You will see that for a strange reason, so you understand. There's a special way to kill the animal. You don't just not like anyone else just kill the chicken. There's a certain way. And you will see that for some weird reason that you wouldn't understand, you wouldn't ask at the beginning, there are 2 sets of dishes. And if by mistake you took the knife from the wrong drawer and cut the chicken, your mama would get wild. No, my knife! And like now we have to dip it in the dirt and to kosher it, and then you trip the whole thing. And what will you do? No. And then you take it to a rabbi and say, it's okay, just kosher it. Okay. Everything is fixable. But no. So you need also to shout a little bit to show that you're also extra religious. But the rabbi says, no, it's nothing. You just fix it. It's very easy. Don't worry. Everything is fixable almost. You will see this thing, and you will know how to daven because you saw your grandmother every night before you go to sleep. She takes the book of Tehillim, Psalms, written by King David, was also a prophet, by the way. And she reads a few chapters from the book of Giyur before you go to sleep. And she says, Shema Yisrael. So you would like to copy her. And you see your mother do the hafroshat challah, hide from we'll learn about this, from the bread, before she bakes a bread or a challah. She takes a small portion and give it to the Kohen. So please, if there's no mikdash, she just take it and burn it, and does the blessing. You will live it. You will walk it. It's interesting, halakha, you walk it, you don't need to learn it. We're doing something very awkward in a way, to learn what to do. What do you mean? Are you being taught how to walk? No, you see your siblings, you try, you fall, it's okay. You shout, nothing happens, so you just walk up. Your mother is hysterical, but it's okay. She calms down and tells her, it's okay, it's fixable in the end. The baby comes out and nothing happens. And you walk. You learn to walk. You walk. You eat. You need to learn how to eat. Eat, right? Most cases, not always. But most cases, it comes naturally. But again, unfortunately, things change. We don't live in Israel in our natural environment. We don't live in a Jewish environment necessarily. Some of us are mixed marriages. All these things, and some of us here in the room, you discover they're Jewish one day across the rainbow, right? Over the rainbow, oh, I'm Jewish. Wow, my grandmother told me I'm Jewish. I'm 30 years old, right? 50 years old, and that's told that I'm Jewish. I saw a sign on her arm to ask me what it is. Oh, I was a place not too nice called Auschwitz. And then he Googled out, he actually understand what she's saying, what she has been through, and such and such. And you know what, this is what you are. But this recent history, when you go back with history, it was the same for many years. For 2-3 years, we've been wandering all over the world, and Israel was not perfect. So the rabbis decided the Rabbi Yehuda started with writing it's called the Mishnah. Mishnah is, so again, so I'm going to look backwards. 3,500 years ago. This is an important number. This is Mount Sinai, where we got the Torah. So you've got one Torah, but you can also divide it into two. There's the written Torah, the Torah, the scroll we have, we take out every Shabbat, every Monday and Thursday we read from it. And there's also the oral Torah, the spoken Torah, that you learn from mouth to ear. You learn from mouth to ear, your father taught you, your rabbi taught you. What we said, the natural way, you lived it, you walked it. What to do, what do you do? Because the Torah itself is very hard to understand. Even a person who is completely fluent in Hebrew, you can't really know what to do from the Torah, the spoken Torah. It's impossible. How do we know how to interpret, how to read, what does it mean, what does it actually mean to do tomorrow in the morning? That's the spoken Torah. Hashem told Moshe also what to do. And he transmitted it to Yeshua, his disciple. Yeshua taught it to the elderly, to the Zkinim, and they taught it every generation 4 times, and until today. But it wasn't right there. Again, exile, torture to the Jewish people, being kicked out, being tortured, being sent here, there. There was, in one bad part, another part is assimilation, and we forgot what to do. Because we didn't see, we live by ourselves, and we didn't see our grandmother, who didn't live with us, how does she kill the animal. Our mother didn't speak Hebrew anymore, so she couldn't show us this word, this letter is Aleph, you say this is how you read. We didn't see all that, we forgot. We start to forget. Rabbi Yehuda, the prince, he's got the means, he's very wealthy, and he has a good relationship with the ruling empire, the Roman Empire. He is building yeshivas, has some study, and he codifying all the spoken Torah, putting it in letters. It should be written, it should not be written, and we suffer from writing it until today. But it's being written because otherwise it becomes forgotten, so better to do something you should not do, again, time, circumstance. But this is a compromise, by the way. So he's written it.
Who? Sorry.
Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Yehuda the prince. Okay? And this is the codifying, and then on top of this is called the Mishnah. Mishnah is the beginning of the spoken Torah in its written form. You hear the dissonance, right? The spoken Torah that is being written. Okay? A little bit absurd. So this is the Mishnah. Then this is not enough, because there are not enough people who remember what the code means. The code is hard to understand. So on top of this, we write the Gemara, or the Talmud. Interpretation, explanation, expanding what is the Mishnah. And we continue more and more and more. In every generation, we need to add more and more and more and more. I mean, all this big space here will not be enough for all the books that were written about the Oral Torah, like even the Aruch part. Until we get to the main halachic book for today. This is the Shulchan Aruch. Daniel, you mentioned the Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan is a table. Aruch is a set table. This is Rabbi Yosef Karo had this great idea after a few others, monitors, some tool, whatever. But he put a very nice scripture called Shulchan Aruch, a set table. It's like a set table. You wake up in the morning, you say, Modeh ani lefanecha. Then you go, you wash your hands. Then you go, you say this blessing. You go to the bathroom, you go, but you need to do this, not to do that. You're not allowed to say, to read scripture, for instance, in the washroom. After you go out of the washroom, you say such a just blessing for Hashem who gave you your wonderful body that actually works. You can out the garbage you eat, for instance. And then you want to eat breakfast, you need to wash your hands. And you say the blessing, then you take the and you eat. What is the portion you eat? How much you eat? What you do? Very long, serious books called Shulchan Aruch. But to the details, what you should do. And it's a big saver for us. Because this is that's how we learn all the oral Torah, how to walk the walk. Because it's hard for us to walk the walk nowadays. The problem with this book, that it's very long. Okay? It's very long. And it's not even all, you just use basic stuff, and it's very long. Me, for instance, I never finished reading the whole thing. Not only that, on top of the Shulchan Aruch, of course, every generation adds, so every generation is more. So what we used to be this is now that, because every generation adds more interpretation, explanation, and minhagim, customs, and so on and so forth. So we have a great idea of doing a kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Kitzur, the word is short. A short Shulchan Aruch. Taking this remarkable book of Shulchan Aruch and making it a summary out of it. And the product we have is a book called Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, Short Shulchan Aruch, and that's the book, again, we're going to use for the halachic part of this course.